Welcome back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown. It is once again game day as the Edmonton Oilers travel to St. Louis to take on the St. Louis Blues tonight at 6:30 p.m. Mountain. The Edmonton Oilers coming off playing another Central Division opponent in the Chicago Blackhawks on the weekend, picking up a big 3-2 overtime victory. An absolutely monumental goal for Evan Bouchard with how he's been struggling as of late. So the Edmonton Oilers playing a team that has also been struggling, so this is going to be a very big 2 points on the line here for the Edmonton Oilers. Thankfully for the Oilers, they've had a lot of success over the St. Louis Blues. Let's take a look at the game notes here from the Edmonton Oilers social media account as they go over this in detail. The Oilers have won 3 straight games versus the Blues and have earned at least a point in 5 straight, going 4-0-1. Connor McDavid has recorded at least a point in 8 straight games versus the Blues, 4 goals, 13 assists. His next point will be point number 1100 in his career. Just incredible. The Oilers defensemen have recorded 34 points, 8 goals, and 26 assists this season, 4th most in the NHL. So, like I said, the Edmonton Oilers with a lot of success against the St. Louis Blues, and they're going to need more of it here. It's going to be a very challenging November for the Oilers travel-wise. We'll have more discussion on this on the Heavy Hockey Podcast premiering on Wednesday, November 5th at 8 p.m. on the Heavy Hockey Network. I'll have more to come on that. I'll throw up a couple of promos for you guys at the end of this video if you want to check them out. Very excited for that. Like I said, coming on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Mountain on the Heavy Hockey Network. But getting back to the lineup for tonight's game against the Blues, head coach Chris Knobloch providing some of that consistency that I and a lot of people in oil country had been calling for. We got a top line of Nuge, McDavid, and Mangiapane, a second line of Podkolzin, Draisaitl, and Roslovic, a third line of Savoy, Henrique, and Frederick, a fourth line of Howard, Philp, and Lazar, on the blue line, Ekholm and Bouchard, Nurse and Wallman, Kulak and Emberson, and picks between the sticks, Mr. Calvin Pickard gets the start tonight against the St. Louis Blues. Zach Hyman close to returning, Matthias Janmark still on injured reserve, and David Tomaszek is the odd man out tonight up front for the Edmonton Oilers. Well, that's all the news I have for you as of now, but I was joined yesterday by St. Louis Blues superfan Jack, close friend of mine. We've been talking since the Philip Broberg, Dylan Holloway offer sheets last year. And as always, we have a full Edmonton Oilers, St. Louis Blues preview for tonight's game. So without further ado, here it is, my talk with Jack, St. Louis Blues superfan. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Patrick, and this is the Oilers and Blues preview for you for tonight's game. As always, I am joined by St. Louis Blues superfan Jack. Jack, you and I started talking following the Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway offer sheets. It was a tough time in oil country. A lot of people were upset about it, but of course, you as a St. Louis Blues fan, extremely excited. How are those guys looking in St. Louis this year?
Thanks for having me, Patrick. Even though it's been a tough start to the season for the Blues, I'm confident they'll do well from here on out and get the season going and whatnot, go on a streak. As for Holloway and Broberg, they've been picking up. Holloway has points in 3 or 4 of his last games. He scored a goal against your least favorite team, the Vancouver Canucks, and I'm sure that always makes you happy because he is a Canucks killer. I've seen him score a lot of goals against the Canucks, regardless if it's a former Oiler or not. He's a Canucks killer. So he's been picking up. Philip Broberg, on the other hand, he has been doing pretty well. As a matter of fact, he scored a nice goal against the Utah Mammoth. It was like a spin around goal, wraparound. So I expect them to get better from here on out, though. But they've been picking up the pace nonetheless.
Excellent to hear for the St. Louis Blues fans. For Oilers fans, I don't really want to acknowledge that too much, but good to hear for you as a St. Louis Blues fan. So I know
at least McDavid got extended. That's the good news for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure
absolutely.
that
Had
laid
to get that
everybody.
one done. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Especially with how the Oilers started. If that one hadn't been done before the season started, that would have been a lot more questions here in oil country. So everyone in oil country was very relieved to see that deal get done. So speaking of deals getting done, Holloway and Broberg both eligible for extensions. Have you heard anything on the extension front for those guys?
I have not. It was never. Doug Armstrong said it was never a priority for him to get their extensions done because they're going to be RFAs. The Blues are going to have 35 million salary cap. He's going to want Alexander Steen when he takes over to deal with them though. But my concern for in terms of cap wise is probably with Philip Broberg after the Jackson Lacombe extension because he got 9 mil AAV for 8 years, and I'll be honest, that really shocked me. I wasn't expecting him to get that contract right away. So we'll see how it goes though. But I'm expecting Broberg to probably be around that ballpark range, if not less or more. But it's going to be a big extension for both of them. As for Holloway, I'm not entirely sure. I'm probably going to assume around the 7.5 mil AAV times 7 since the new CBA kicks in. You can only do a maximum of 7 years for remaining if a player is still on the team. As for free agents, it's a maximum of 6.
Yeah, I think going back earlier in the summer, I heard some rumors around 7 million for Holloway, so that certainly makes sense. So going into tonight, the Edmonton Oilers had a rough October, but still looking pretty decent in the standings. They're battling for first place in the Pacific, currently 6-4-3. The St. Louis Blues come into tonight 3-7-2. How have the Blues looked so far this year, Jack?
I would say inconsistency as well, though. But for example, the game against the Canucks that we lost in a shootout, the Blues outshot them 40-18 and only got 1 point. It's stuff. It's moments like those where you played a better team, but you didn't get the result you want. Like last game against Columbus, I wasn't a fan of the first 10 minutes of the first period. They were not the better team because they were not like generating offensive zone rushes or anything like that. So the third period though last game I was a fan of. I think that was honestly their best period of the season though. Unfortunately, they didn't get the results though, but we'll see how. Hopefully, they put in a full 60 minutes tomorrow though. But it's never easy when you go up against 29 and 97, especially 97, considering how hungry he is going to be to chase Lord Stanley.
Absolutely, and yeah, he hasn't been too strong to start the year. It's really been Leon Draisaitl leading the way, Draisaitl, Roslovic, and a player we got due to the Holloway and Broberg offer sheets, Vasily Podkolzin coming in and having a strong year so far. So Oil Country thanks you for that because I think Pods is a very popular player here, and I really loved watching him grow. I'm really surprised the Vancouver Canucks gave up on him, but very thankful that they did because I think he's been a fantastic player so far. And like I said, that line has looked really good. So who would you say
Didn't
is. Sorry, go
didn't
ahead, Jack.
it's okay. I came one question you on that one. Didn't Wasn't essentially Vasily Podkolzin for Evander Kane considering it's a fourth round pick, and that's what the Canucks gave up for Evander Kane?
Yeah, that's basically what it came down to was Podkolzin for Kane. Yeah, at the end of the day.
That's that's
Yeah, because I
funny.
think it was the same pick and everything. So,
I don't know what Alvin and Bowman talked to each other about. Oh, that's very interesting to me. I find that very amusing.
well, you don't usually see teams within the division doing deals as well. So, for the
Oh
Oilers to
no.
do the Podkolzin deal, to do the Vander Kane deal, both with the Vancouver Canucks, I mean, it was perfect fits. Evander Kane being from Vancouver, so he goes to his hometown and everything like that. So, I think it worked out for everyone. Well, maybe not so much for the Vancouver Canucks at this point. I think Evander Kane did get his first goal the other night, but he hasn't been too popular in Vancouver land from what I've heard. So
Oh
we'll see what
really?
happens. Yeah, no, I think Vancouver
Hmm.
Canucks fans weren't happy about picking him up, and obviously he just getting his first goal the other night. He's kind of struggled off the bat, but if it doesn't work out, he's only got the 1 year left on his deal, and then they can move on from him if they want. But we'll see what happens there. Going back to
Mhm.
this one, is there any other St. Louis Blues other than Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg that the fans should be looking out for tonight?
Well, unfortunately, Jake Neighbors blocked a shot in Detroit, and after he blocked that shot, he struggled the entire game trying to put any weight on his right leg. And last week he was put on the injury reserve and will be reevaluated within 4 to 5 weeks due to a right leg injury. I think he probably fractured his ankle because he couldn't put any weight on it. So he's for sure not available. He'll probably not even be available till first week or second week of December. So he's for sure out. Robert Thomas, on the other hand, he got injured as well in Detroit. I don't know what his injury is. He's missed like the last 3 or 4 games, and he's honestly been picking up after a rough first couple games. So we'll see what happens. So I would say Thomas is a game time decision. For Neighbors, no. He probably hasn't even skated yet. He probably is wearing an ankle boot, if anything.
Well, if both those guys are out, then that's some pretty key players missing there for the Blues. Definitely something the Oilers have to take advantage of tonight. So, is there
Mm-hmm.
anything else you wanted to share, Jack, going into tonight's game? Any kind of predictions? What are we looking at here between the Oilers and Blues tonight?
Well, hopefully a Blues win though, but maybe who knows? Maybe it goes to a shootout. Maybe it goes to overtime or a shootout. Who knows? We'll see though. But all I know is Connor McDavid's going to be Connor McDavid today.
Absolutely. Well, it was a series sweep
So,
for the Oilers last year, so
unfortunately,
well, depends on
unfortunately,
how you look at it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes tonight.
if you're
So
from oil country, but
yeah,
hey, at least you have a Vasily Podkolzin. I know he's been doing pretty good for you guys, and we have Dylan Holloway.
yeah, no, like I said, that Podkolzin, Roslovic, Draisaitl line's been really carrying the Oilers as of late. They had a big game against Chicago the other night, so yeah, we'll see what
Eh,
happens here.
if oil country beats Chicago, that brings warmth to my heart, as
Yeah,
it
there you
should.
go. Helping you out before the
So,
big game tonight. So
bravo.
that's a nice looking jersey you got there. You want to
Yeah.
share who's
Yeah.
on the back of that one?
Yes. As an early birthday gift, my lovely cousins and cousin-in-law surprised me with a gift who lives near Toronto and got me this jersey, and it was a very special gift to me. I will always keep with me for the rest of my life. So have very much to be grateful for with them surprising me with a lovely jersey.
Yeah, we like the name on the back. Well, we used to like the name on the back anyway.
Hey, he's an Alberta boy,
Yeah,
so
he is an
not sure
Alberta boy,
that's
that's for sure.
sure that's all. He's from
Yeah,
Calgary as well, so I don't know if makes it any better.
yeah, that doesn't help, but
Bravo to hear.
yeah. Well, very nice, Jerry Jack.
Mm.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
May the best team win. It should be exciting. Both teams are in desperate need for points.
Yeah, score prediction.
Let's hope 4-3 Blues, but I know you hope otherwise.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Oilers. They take that 3-1
Oh,
tonight. Okay.
3-1. Of course.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Thanks
We'll
as
see how
always
it goes.
thanks as always for joining us, Jack. It's been a pleasure doing this again with you. Have a great
Thank
night.
you for having.
Yeah, and may the best
Mm.
team win tonight. Take care, pal.
Sounds good. See ya.
But that's all from me for now, guys. Let me know your thoughts heading into tonight. Will the Edmonton Oilers pick up a crucial 2 points over the St. Louis Blues? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.
We're putting the band back together.
Forget it. No way.
We're on a mission from God.
I mean, is this guy something or is he something? This crew is good.